Yeah, Conor hit Jose with a few things. Told him in a different time I'd ride into your favela on horseback and chop off the head of any man not fit for work. You know, I mean, it was these things. It's like, right, like I would push it myself, and even some of these things I thought, well, yeah, I don't know if I could do that. You're getting away with a little bit because of the accent. He's foreign, you're foreign. I guess it's a wash.
No, I mean, if anybody else did that, though, that's the thing. It'd be like they'd be in an uproar, you know what I mean? It would be like, you're fired, you know? So I think it's awesome that they can get away with some of that stuff because it's very entertaining, you're right.
So what happens with Conor in this next fight with Nate Diaz? The way I look at it, you got two studs. I got no problem with Conor or his skills, or the way he builds fights, and some people do. I got no problem with any of it. I'm just looking at saying, listen, we just saw this contest. I already know who wins because you just fought, and it was only a few months ago. It really wasn't that long ago. Nate's bigger than ever. Size mattered in that fight. What am I missing here? I mean, do we have a different outcome? Is that even something in the realm of probability?
I don't know. I still think that size is an important factor in this rematch, and it's going to be a good one. I like Conor's confidence, you know, but I got to go with my boy. You know, I think Nate is just too good, and I don't see much of more of a different outcome than what happened the first fight.
And where is Conor's confidence? You know, one thing that has been missing from this fight is Conor saying all the things he's going to do to this guy. He'll pull out that card at the right time for a press conference, but he has been largely silent, which he kind of has to be. You know, when a guy cleans you up, it's a little bit tough. That is a humbling experience. You know, what's Conor do? Is his psyche affected here? Does he believe he can flip the script?
I don't know. I think he's got a little bit of a different approach. I know that when he got kicked off 200, he wouldn't stop babbling on Twitter, so I personally told him to shut the hell up. And I haven't heard much out of him since then, so I think it worked.
Yeah, it must have. Did you happen to catch the press conference? I know I saw you outside of it, but did you go in for the Diaz McGregor press conference?
I didn't know. I wasn't available, but I watched some of it. I couldn't watch all of it though. So
Diaz is an accidental genius, right? He's the best negotiator in the UFC because he will not fight, and he does not care what that means. If they're gonna foreclose on his home and repo his car, he will do that. So he's a great negotiator on accident. And then he's a great marketing guy. Let me tell you something that happened at the press conference. So they're at the press conference. Conor's doing the Conor routine. He's got it handled. He's got his prepackaged responses. He's dropping them. Everybody's loving it. They turn to Nate Diaz. They ask him a question to which Nate responds, and I'm going to leave out the profanity, but just put about 4 words of profanity in. He responds, "I can't hear you. These effing micers are bad." Okay? The whole crowd erupts. That was his answer to a question, that I can't hear you because these effing microphones are bad. And it got one of the loudest responses of the night. And that's not even an answer, Juliana. That's not an answer to anything. And it was awesome.
Yeah. That is awesome.
His brother's the same way, though. You know, if you'll remember, Nick was going to fight George St. Pierre and didn't show up to a press conference. Well, the fact that he stiffed Dana White at a press conference got picked up by SportsCenter. He got more news out of not showing up than anything he could have done while there. These guys are accidentally ahead of the curve, and it's amazing to watch.
I never looked at it like that. I always looked at it like it was like more of a pain in the ass for the UFC more than anything. But yeah, you're probably right. Them not showing up or saying, you know, I can't hear you gets more of a response than, you know, anything that they could have said or even showing up at that date. That's funny.
Yeah, and even Dana was pissed. You know, you talk about a pain in the ass. He's going, man, I spent a bunch of money on a press conference. I got George here. I'm here. I got all the media here. I paid for your plane ticket. I paid for the backdrop that's microphone, rented the space. He thought it was a pain in the ass, too. Dana sat back, frustrated, and all of a sudden realizes this is a headline everywhere. The fact that Nick didn't show up is better for business than Nick could have rolled a joint and smoked it at the press conference and not got as much coverage as Stain and Stockton.